Hello, my viewers. Good theme of conversation: post offices of the United States. With a bad government, post offices became a hoax, corrupted infrastructure. Hoax. Yes, bad hoax. And they were out of trust. They were doing whatever. Those post offices, and which are still now, has to be really under the scrutiny. And what's the article from Associated Press, you see? On the Yahoo I found today. August 11, 2026. Who bars what? But one thing I know, that post offices were out of trust on many issues, on all issues. If a bad government, how can we, bad government administration, dishonest, right? Corrupted, dishonest criminals already, let's say. Time to check. First of all, this mid-election will be controlled as I read from this article, and I follow my thoughts right away. Control, right, and check every post office. Check everybody. Here we need really National Guard. Who they serving? They not belong this country. They have to leave immediately this post office position. I can't say because I know what I'm saying. Criminal, corrupted criminals, and government didn't do nothing about those. Do you read what I read? A federal judge on Tuesday ruled against President Donald Trump's executive order that sought to create a federal voter list and directly involved the United States Postal Service in election operations in a way that would limit mail voting. The election was not going the right way again. They were publicly deceiving American citizens. Kamala Harris never came to the Florida. So the Florida, very corrupted state. Why? She's bad or good. She was candidate for presidency in 2024, but she never could enter the Florida. Florida was very corrupted and still corrupted. So Florida has to be really trashed up. And here on the way is a post offices. Well, they better decide something to really control every post office and check them out. Oops, I lost it. Here, I found that place I was looking. First of all, election is not ruled by the president. It's ruled by the Congress, based on Constitution. This ruling is a victory for voters and for the Constitution. Neither the President nor the United States Postal Service has the authority to rewrite election rules. Yes, this Postal Service of the United States, especially Florida, corrupted Florida state, went totally out of hand. That's what I have to tell you. Here I follow next message here. Republican president's order should be found unconstitutional because the states and Congress, not the president, you see? States and Congress, not the president, have the power to set election rules. So who will follow the rules finally? Who will respect the Constitution, which has to defend me? I always thinking about me. I don't feel comfortable with this president, Donald Trump. I overworked and he think only about his own pockets and his own accounts. And actually very corrupted post offices. For the reason of course, support that those hawks in the government created post office to feed, exactly, to serve their need. A bad government. How good government now? I still see, I mean, besides of Donald Trump, I still see lots of problems. Everything to do anything good is going and moving very slow. Trump is I don't trust, I cannot trust Donald Trump now. He still did not earn my trust, Donald Trump. I'm not talking about those files which came as bad evidence of his lifetime, those files of Epstein. I'm not talking about this. I'm talking about lots of other bad things. Nothing talked about this also in this article. We talk about corruption in the post office. And post office corruption here in Florida, with this bad Spectrum communication, Spectrum.com, which serving my computer and TV, those has to be. They attached to Fox serving entirely Donald Trump. So I don't know which country is holding their bank accounts and how did they make their money. I'm going further for those Fox employees which giving us a news. So there is a lots of what to control. If the election, and it has to be truly came to serve my need. I always, like every legal American, think, how does it serve my need? I have to be satisfied. On the way, whoever does it, National Guard, come home on stays for the home security, and home security with a bad post office is totally, totally disaster. Yes, so this article talking about the right things. I was absolutely thinking about this a long time. I'm thinking about post office, and Associated Press warning here about post office and how important to follow the rules of Constitution. And if the Congress has to set the rules, then President has nothing to do with those rules to settle.